Plastikman Musik 2004 Remastered. Pitchfork gave it an 8.4 and said newly reissued for its 30th anniversary. DJ and producer Richie Hawtin's 1994 album reconfigured acid house familiar contours to new specifications. Spare, trippy, and disorientatingly slow. I met Richie Hawtin, I did, it's true. He's a friend of mine, Mark Goodliff from Peterborough, and he came into HMV Peterborough once. I didn't appreciate how important he was going to be at the time. It was probably in about 1994. I digress. I don't think I've ever listened to one of his albums all the way through, so when I saw this come up on Pitchfork, I was quite excited to hear what it was like. I've never been the biggest of techno heads, you know, I've always appreciated it, but it's never been a genre that I've really dived into. I've always felt it's a little bit more for the dance floor than it is for listening pleasure. But you can see why this is revered 30 years later. It's minimalist techno, not unlike much that's still released today. You know, when it was released in 1994, the charts were full of dance hits like Dreamer by Living Joy or Ray's Break for Love. So, you know, it must have been tempted to write hits, but no, he kept it underground. And I guess that's why he's still relevant in many ways, not that those pop hits aren't. You know, these are long songs that are not in a hurry as a rule. There's the odd 2-minuter and arguably don't do much more than what it first does when the beat kicks in. But, you know, really enjoyable. I'm not sure timing may be, you know, it's got some balls and it is a proper album, but, you know, it's not music that's strictly for the dance floor, which a lot of it was in those days. Would still sound great in any bar now. Aged really well. You know, you can feel the mix of Canada, US and Europe. You know, you hear Detroit and you hear Kraftwerk as well. Can drag a little bit, you know, to a non-techno head like myself, but, you know, it gave so much in the influences that, yeah, it was a really nice listen and I really enjoyed it. Not going to give it another 10, it's quite long, and as I say, for a non-techno boy, just don't know what I'd get out of it, but really interesting listen, 7 out of 10.